Update 1.5 was unleashed on us just as we were getting used to the meta in 1.4, and today it's time to take a look at the best-in-class assault rifles for Update 1.5. What's going on, ladies and gents? It's LtBuzzLitebeer, and as you requested in today's Division video, I am going to cover the best-in-class weapons for the assault rifle classification. Update 1.5 has clearly pushed ARs to the forefront, and it has become the weapon of choice on most agents' backs. Currently in the game, there are 8 weapon archetypes in the assault rifle classification. They are the Famas, G36s, FALs, AKs, ACRs, M4s, P416s, and SCAR-Ls. For the purpose of ranking these ARs, I will strictly be using the raw weapon damage stats, which include burst and sustained damage for this current update, and include some of my thoughts as to how each weapon performs. This doesn't mean that a low-ranked weapon cannot outperform a higher-ranked one, as it completely depends on the damage rolls and talents, as this ranking only takes into account the raw damage numbers of each archetype. First up, and in last place, is the newly introduced Famas assault rifle, which has the lowest damage model of any AR in the game. I had to go back and double check my figures, but the math is correct, as the Famas can be outdamaged by any other AR archetype in the game. One would think that with the 900 RPM and AR damage model, this weapon would perform better, but it is the weak base damage and longer than average reloads that hold this newly introduced AR back from climbing the charts. In 7th place is the FAL, which was programmed as a 3-round burst weapon. It boasts higher base damage figures than the Famas, and if modded correctly, it is lethal at long range, but it suffers in overall damage output and is a largely forgotten weapon. I spent an entire episode of What Were They Thinking devoted to how poorly this weapon was programmed into the division, and it is no surprise as to where it ends up on the depth chart. Low base starting mag, 3-round burst, and average reload speeds hold back this AR. In 6th place are the SCAR-Ls, which have some of the slowest fire rates of any of the ARs, and overall stability is not the best, especially when unmodded. It is the average base damage models and slower fire rate which hold this weapon back from climbing the AR charts. In fact, average is a good description for the SCAR-Ls, as they really don't excel at any one thing. Usually slow fire rate weapons reward you with higher base damage figures, but the SCAR-Ls missed out, and it really leaves us with a tame and somewhat weak AR. In 5th place are the AKs, of which most agents are familiar with the AK-74 and prefer it over the AK-47. Yes, there are 2 different models in the game. The AKs boast the highest base damage figures of any AR in the game, but they lack rate of fire. On the flip side, the AKs have some of the best sustained damage figures in the game, and they are not a bad choice for PvE. The AK used to be a wild recoil machine, and most players decided to forego the headache of trying to control this monster. However, I have found that they seem to be tamed down in Update 1.5. Once again, a good choice for PvE, but look elsewhere for those of you DZ junkies. In 4th place are the P416s, which have higher fire rates than the SCAR-Ls, but have base damage figures in the middle of this classification. Overall, these weapons behave well and are a good choice for players that have trouble controlling a high fire rate, high recoil weapon. Strengths of the P416 include decent rate of fire, better than average reload speeds, and ease of handling, but be wary of some vertical recoil and average damage stats. In 3rd place, and just edging out the P416s, are the ACRs, and they were quite similar across the board, with the ACRs just beating them out in base damage statistics. The ACR brings a nice mix of RPM, accuracy, and slightly elevated damage figures over the P416, but still can't hang with the top 2 performers on this list due to its average damage model. However, it's not a bad choice for players that like ARs. In 2nd place, and the former top performer for sustained damage in Update 1.4, are the G36s. The G36 has gone through many nerfs since its launch, and it used to be the clear choice for damage output. However, with Update 1.5, it has been brought back in line with other ARs, and it is a solid choice for players, as it has decent damage coupled with a moderate fire rate and excellent stability. Of all of the ARs, the G36 is the easiest to handle and fire, as it shows very little recoil and better than average reload speeds. However, it cannot keep up with the top weapon on this list in the area of rate of fire and damage output, as it has slightly reduced base damage figures. Surpassing the G36 and the new top performer for the assault rifles are the M4s for both sustained and burst damage. The M4s boast the second highest fire rate of any AR in the game, coupled with good base damage figures. In particular, the LVOA-C is the weapon of choice in the M4 family, as it has slightly higher damage stats over the standard M4 models. In Update 1.4, the M4s were the best for burst damage, meaning PvP, while the G36s were the best for sustained damage, i.e. PvE. However, now in Update 1.5, the M4s have taken both top spots, and this should be the weapon you look to loot in the current meta for overall damage output in both PvP and PvE. As always, I would love to hear what you thought about my best-in-class AR review. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. In addition, if you could take the time to rate the video with either a thumbs up or down, it would be greatly appreciated. If you want some more LtBuzzLitebeer and my Division content in your life, follow me on Twitter at LtBuzzLitebeer. If you are looking for answers about any weapon in the Division, look no further than my weapon review video series, as it really is the most comprehensive and accurate Division weapon review playlist on YouTube. And remember, from my channel, likes, comments, subs are loved. Until my next The Division video, this has been LtBuzzLitebeer saying peace out.